This is the 7th floor division. It is the 17th of January 2018 and we're going to be an eye in the sky, covering latest important news, making analysis and using remote viewing skills to try and go beyond what is presented to us. We are a team of people prepared to go where nobody has gone before through the extensive, progressive use of remote viewing as a fundamental skill to learn, aiming for space and near-Earth events. Obsidian black shards of awareness in high orbit will travel across time and space to bring you new perspectives. So here's what's cooking. The 2002 AJ129 asteroid is scheduled to pass quite close to Earth on February the 4th. Although classified as potentially hazardous by the NASA, this asteroid is going to miss us by some 3 million miles or 4 million kilometers. This distance is about 11 times the distance from Earth to Moon, which is 238,000 miles, so no need to panic yet. Although with all the fireballs exploding lately in the skies around the world, one can't help but wonder. The latest example being the meteor burning up and exploding in the sky over Michigan. Are these small meteorites increasing in number the result of something else out there entraining them in its motion and hurtling them towards our planet? Or is it simply the increase in recording devices all around the world filling the news with stuff which has been otherwise normal all along? The speed of AJ129 is about 19 miles per second or 38 kilometers per second, faster than any man-made supersonic known flying vehicles. The size is, just imagine a building slightly bigger than the Dubai Burj Khalifa, which is half-mile long or 800 meters. Now for the second news, the Vancouver summit over North Korea, at which ministers and diplomats from 20 countries attended, held a closed-door session aimed at finding a solution for bringing the rogue communist state to the negotiations table and finding solutions for denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, whether the installed regime likes it or not. Canada and US pushed for more sanctions, and Rex Tillerson, the US Secretary of State, declared that failing to appear at the negotiations table will open the door for military action against North Korea. Meanwhile, Russia stated that this summit is only destabilizing the United States authority. Well, we actually see a rising trend in going over United Nations' head, which thought they would remain forever the only authority around the world to spread justice. And if we ponder a bit on this subject, just what gives authority to a group of nations, and why isn't it possible for another group to form and impose their own agenda? There is no rule against it, but there is the danger of redundancy and conflicting measures. And when we're speaking about a possible nuclear conflict, conflicting measures is the wrong syntax to start the day with. However, on the other hand, we have some interesting news on the UN also. UN cuts food for refugees in East Africa. We're talking here about people fleeing drought and war in Somalia and South Sudan, getting in East Africa in countries like Kenya and Ethiopia. Millions of people are coming in and funds are insufficient for food. The required $360 million needed have been received only 1/5 of this required sum, the donors being unable to sustain the demands or prioritizing other areas such as Syrian conflict. Now let's get back a bit to the US cutting $285 million funds to the UN, saying that this country's generosity has been taken advantage of or not mentioned at all. This sum roughly matches the missing sum for East African refugees' food. I am not sure how money flows, what is the scheme. However, it is highly unlikely that there are money for many other projects which do not target civilian welfare in the world, and yet we seem to be unable to concentrate more of those funds on suffering people. This way, the African problem will always remain open, and it will only consume more funds in the future. We are actually not helping these people, but teasing them to crawl and live to die another day instead of really ending the roots of their problems. Well, this is a first video from the 7th floor division. Hope you have a nice day or night, wherever you are, in time and space. More to come and more interesting videos in the future.